So I picked up this book, Strange Pictures by Uketsu, because I enjoyed Strange Houses by the same author earlier this year. And it kind of has a similar feel to it, where it's a somewhat unsettling murder mystery case. It takes place, I think, sometime before Strange Houses, because one of the characters that comes up, I think, is the same person as the person who's working as an architect later on, but in this story he is a university student. So the story begins with a class being given by a psychologist who's talking about how they use the pictures that patients draw in order to evaluate like their mental state and whether or not they can be successfully rehabilitated into society. Like, she's talking about this particularly unpleasant case where this young child killed her mom, but she talks about how these specific images in these pictures tell you about someone's internal life, like the kinds of thoughts they have and possibly even the kind of person they might become. And then you move on to one of the university students whose friend, the aforementioned future architect, who's also a fellow club member in this group that really likes to look into different paranormal activities and weird stuff in general, refers him to a blog that he says is extremely creepy. And as this person begins to read through the blog, he starts to find bits and pieces of something that do hint at something not quite right, possibly either going on in the life of whoever made the blog and the pictures that are included in it. So the story follows delving into the background of this blog, the person who created it, the people around him, some peculiar deaths that have happened in the area, as well as these reporters who have at some point in their careers become involved in this story. So I think this one was, like I said, similar in that it was also kind of an unsettling case that I think it's less inconclusive than the previous one. It doesn't leave as much hanging when you get to the end of it. I also think it's not quite as creepy, but at the same time, I think it certainly goes into the kind of killers and stuff that I guess feel kind of evil in a weird kind of way, because it's not very straightforward. I think the psychological aspect is definitely pretty strong. I did find it an interesting read, although if I had to pick, I think I technically enjoyed Strange Houses more.